Hi everyone, this is Men's here. I am playing the new Winter Showdown mode that just appeared on the World of Tanks server. As you see, it's an 8-bit mode, just like the Carl mode that a lot of people kind of fell in love with back when it was introduced. And this mode, however, is a little bit more in depth, and there's 3 tanks to choose from. There's the Mammoth, which is tied to the T110E5. There is a Polar Bear, which is tied to the AMX-50 Foch. And there's the Arctic Fox, which is tied to the Russian LTTB light tank. Now, for each tank, aside from the Arctic Fox, which as you see looks like a T-52, but it is tied to the LTTB, you can basically put your own crews in if you want, retrain them from, say, the T110E5 into the Mammoth, and they'll gain all the crew experience, and basically you'll level up your crew very well because a lot of the missions revolve around gaining crew experience, and after the event is over, they'll be retrained for free back to their respective tank. Now, you do get 100% crew to start out with, so it's nothing that you really have to worry about too much, because basically you're given 100% crew right off the bat. Now, winning and losing, you don't gain anything as far as the battle goes unless if you win. Now, I received experience here because I completed a mission and I was basically healing my team. Now, if you go up here to defeat with the Mammoth, didn't heal my team at all, so I didn't receive anything for a actual defeat. But as you see, the healing rounds, they're good in a way, but they're much more expensive than the regular rounds, 40 compared to 400. And basically you're going to be healing tanks. I wouldn't do it if there's a firefight going on. You're better off doing damage because the missions are tied to doing damage. They're not tied to really healing your enemy team. And as you see here, there is an option with all the snow up here for a special platoon to play with the winter event, and I recommend doing that because if you create a super platoon, then, or even a regular platoon, but it's a little bit harder doing it because you only have 2 to 3 people compared to 5. If you reach 1500 damage, you get a pretty hefty reward, and it stacks with the other missions going on, and then there's one final mission if you play 25 battles and cause 500 damage each match, which gives you a pretty hefty award as well. So it's a pretty good mode, not only for the fun factor, but also to gain some crew experience if you plop crews in here, and some free experience that gets transferred over to the tier 1s of their respective nations. Now, to hop into a battle here, the Mammoth, its listed stats seem to make it look like it doesn't have a very good gun, but it does fire a 3-round burst, basically not like a T110E5. So just keep that in mind because you're not actually shooting 1 shell, you're going to be shooting 3 out, which makes it the best tank to actually destroy walls, but at the same time you have to land all 3 shells to actually do your full amount of damage. Now, like the Carl mode, you can spot people through walls as long as if you're close enough to them, and pretty much just don't go into the water around the cap circle. You'll be fine otherwise. Now, the Mammoth to me is the best tank because it has the most amount of experience, its gun's pretty good, and it has a lot of health points to go along with it. Just keeping an eye out where the enemy is breaking walls, which they're breaking them right here. See, it's just wait for him to destroy the wall in front of me. Come on, you can do it. Just waiting for him to get all the way through. He's definitely taking his time over there.
Enemy armor is hit.
They kind of walked right into that.
Penetration.
Now the shell time on the Mammoth is a little slow, and it can be a little annoying hitting people at far ranges, but it boils down to it. It's not too hard because the map's pretty close together. Now the Tank Destroyer is faster than the Mammoth overall, however it doesn't really turn very well, so if you're fighting against it, just basically go around a corner and it'll have a hard time keeping up with you. And the general sense of this mode, kind of like the Carl mode, is just sticking with your team, because usually the team that sticks together wins because you just overwhelm the enemy. Okay, is this guy gonna keep going? Yes, he is. And what the hell, I'll chase after him for the hell of it.
Enemy armor.
Which,
Knocked out.
as you could expect, you can ram in this, since this 8-bit mode is a little bit more fleshed out than the previous one. Thanks for moving back there. No idea where this guy is. Ah, there he is. Hello. Now, shooting your friendly teammates, you can heal them with those more expensive healing rounds. Now, if you shoot an enemy with them, you'll basically just be wasting credits. You won't be healing them. They'll still do damage to them, which is nice just in case if you accidentally shoot a healing round at them. But pretty much you're just going to be doing regular damage and wasting more credits while doing that in the process. Now, if you shoot your friendly team with a regular round, it doesn't, unfortunately, not do damage to them. You'll actually do damage to them. So while the enemy, you can't heal them, you basically do damage with both rounds, you still do friendly damage to your team with a regular round like normal. And as you see, basically I just completed this mission, which gives a pretty good award, and also for winning you get 1,500 experience and 10,000 credits. So winning is nice because you get an added bonus compared to a loss, which you usually get nothing unless if you heal your teammates. But at the same time, it's not necessarily something you need to worry about. Just hop off and play a different tank in this mode if you want. Don't stick around and complain to your teammates. Now, as I said earlier, there is a video link, or basically a link to a video for the Winter Showdown mode that Wargaming has on the North American page. So feel free to check that out if you want to see more about the mode before you hop into it.
Time to roll out.
Okay, most of the time, the team on the bottom goes right, and team on the top is a little bit more, not balanced in a way, but they have equal chance of going right or left, I find. Just usually the team on the bottom, except for this match, it seems like people spread out more on the left this one. Pretty much every single match I've played, my team has spread out basically the same every single match. Okay, so he actually need to keep in mind, don't go after them. Just wait. You need to open up more than just one block for your team, or else you're going to be severely hampering yourself because you can't fire over each other very well. But the Mammoth definitely is the best tank to be able to clear out the blocks here. It's just take out this tank destroyer though.
Enemy armor is damaged.
I gotta be careful here.
Penetration. Penetration. Penetration.
And unfortunately we got capped out. The cap's usually not an issue. I just completely brain farted there and didn't even pay attention to it because it hasn't been a problem thus far into it. But overall, I didn't complete the mission because you can get it fairly easily unless if you don't completely screw up and run in front of like 5 enemies. But all in all, when you lose and you don't complete a mission, it is a little crappy because you don't get any reward for it. Now, the tank destroyer, pretty fast because it's based on AMX 50 Foch, but you can't really turn very well in it, and it is a little bit annoying not having a turret at times on a map like this because it's kind of close quarters and a lot of blocks in your way. And compared to the light tank and the mammoth, you're not very good at taking down walls, so you're kind of dependent on your team. I'm just gonna wait to see where most of my team heads. Just want to be behind people to be able to take down walls for me. Okay. I'll at least try to shoot some walls out for this guy to help him out here. Hey, let's go this way. Now, just keep in mind that creating lanes for your team that are only 1 space wide is a little bit of an issue. Especially if you go and drown yourself like that. That was kind of stupid on his part. I'm like, wait, isn't there water right in front of us? Which doesn't exactly look like water. It looks more like ice, so I could see where people can mix those up and kill themselves like that. Here's this enemy mammoth that's not really in a good spot for himself. I will gladly kill him there. And it'll be quicker for me just to head this way. But if you're in a light tank, since you have a low amount of HP and you're much more mobile than the other tanks, just use these very skinny pathways to escape. Thank you. Now, let's get that guy out. But playing as a team is very beneficial because whoever balls up the most is pretty much going to win because you're not worrying about penetrating the enemy as far as bouncing off their armor. It's mainly just focusing on hitting them and you'll do damage to them. No. Okay, finally we can kind of get out here, which I was a little bit of time here. I'm just gonna hopefully pop this guy with a healing shell if he lets me. And as you see, healing shell doesn't really heal much compared to the standard shell. I only healed him for 183 HP compared to the standard round, which does a lot more damage on this. So it's a lot less effective on the tank destroyers, and basically just use it for your light tank and possibly the mammoth tank. Let's just get out here and move this guy off of us. I should be able to just drown myself here. Once again, this looks not like water, so I just went full retard there. It can be very deceiving, and fortunately we had a good team because three of us just drove right into the ice and killed ourselves. So we're letting the enemy make a little bit of a comeback, which just freaking pop out and kill the guy. It's like, are you seriously hiding? It doesn't matter. Oh, he has no ammo? Like... And yeah, as those people said, capping doesn't give you anything. The rewards are strictly based on if you win, you get X amount of stuff. If you complete missions, you get X amount of stuff, which is why if you can do a super platoon, you might as well, because not only does it make you win more, but you also get another mission if you're in a platoon or a super platoon to earn more credits, experience, and whatnot. So pretty decent match, but again, it doesn't really matter, especially because I drowned myself like an idiot. So let's hop into one more battle here to show off the Arctic Fox. Now, as far as which AMX-50 Foch the polar bear is based off of, I'm not 100% sure. However, I believe it is the Tier 10 AMX-50 Foch 155, but don't hold me to that. I would go into forums and check that just to make sure. And the reason why I said that is just because T110E5 Tier 10 AMX-50 Foch, I would guess they would use the Tier 10 one and not the Tier 9, but I could be wrong there. So definitely double check if you plan on putting your Foch crew into it. You want to pick the right one. Okay, let's just create a little lane here. Hopefully my team comes over this way. I'm making a little lane here for him. Come on. You can do it. Just start making a little one over here too while I'm at it. Seems like we have most of our people on the left side, so I'll definitely help them out by starting to clear a lane for them to the cap. Okay, we should be through here. Hello. No. Let's just run away here. Fortunately, the light tank is pretty good at destroying walls. Not as good as the mammoth, but with your fast reload, you're able to destroy walls better than the tank destroyer, and almost on equal part compared to the mammoth. I don't think he even notices that I'm here. Now he does. Let's just toy around with him a little bit. The light tank is kind of fun to play. I'm going to take a little bit of damage here, but I'd rather us kill this mammoth as quick as possible, so it frees up some of us to help. Ah, shit. Yeah, I know you need help. Come on, let's go get him. Which, it's pretty hard hitting the light tank moving with the mammoth because you have those free shots, and it's not exactly that accurate either. So it's just keep chipping away at this guy. Okay. Whoa, you shot me. And don't really have to worry about him ramming me because I can easily outpace him. And I'm just going to slowly chip him down. Okay, these guys definitely are facing my way. So let's just start buffing this guy up a little bit. The light tank is probably the best healer, just because the healing shells aren't exactly based on how much your gun does damage-wise. It's just a standard amount of damage. You didn't have to heal me there, but thank you. I'll definitely take... Let's just rush into here and get this tank destroyer if I can. No, don't ram me. Don't ram me. Unfortunately, they're capping here. What the hell? You just go for it. Just need to reset the cap. They should be able to help out these guys now. There we go. Just get that out of the way. Unfortunately, I missed that shot. It's just rush into here in case if he kills this heavy tank. We're gonna have to face them sometime soon. And I'm dead. I kind of saw that coming. As long as the enemy could have sat on the base and captured, but there's no point in letting us heal ourselves to be able to get back into the fight. Probably, never mind. Doesn't really matter. He's gonna lose anyway. So a pretty decent match on my part, but once again, don't worry too much about winning and losing, because even if you stress out about carrying a match or whatever, in the end, it's all based on completing missions and winning and losing. So if you're behind, don't stress out too much with trying to win. It's better just to keep going on, finish the match, and hop into another one. Now, as you did see though, basically your experience earn is tied to, regardless of whether you win or lose or not, healing your allies. So if you have the moment, especially in the light tank or the mammoth, to switch over to healing rounds and fire a couple rounds in your teammates, you'll earn a bit of credits. Granted, it's just enough to cover the ammunition costs, and definitely don't do it in TD because what's the point? Basically, you just earn a little bit of credits. It's nothing major, but if you have a crew in this that you are focusing on doing the crew skills, say if you have a T1 10E5 crew and you put it into this, so when the event's over, you have a pretty badass crew because you earn a ton of crew experience. It does make sense to kind of use the healing rounds to get a little bit of experience, and I think it earns crew experience as well. I'm not exactly sure, but as far as how it's been working, as far as crew experience go, it's pretty much the same as your experience received, but on top of that, but I might be wrong there. It's still a little bit confusing as far as that go, but the mode overall is pretty damn fun, and they definitely put more effort into it this time with the super platoons of 5 players, lots of missions, 3 tanks, and definitely more fleshed out than Carl, and it'll keep you occupied well through the 25 winter battles, definitely. And especially if you're playing with friends, that can go by very quickly because the matches are very short. So all in all, it's fun and it's worth playing it just to get the mission experience credits and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wattguru.com. And keep in mind, there's a video in the description below. Just follow the link to the official World of Tanks website, and there's a nice little video about the Winter Showdown and article explaining most of the stuff you saw in this video. Anyway, thanks for watching.